We ended up driving to Yosemite after work on Friday and stayed on an Airbnb in a town called Oakhurst that was roughly about 30 minutes away from the Yosemite South entrance. We woke up early Saturday morning and drove 30 minutes to the south entrance of Yosemite and made our way over to the Vernal Falls and Nevada Falls trailhead. This trail is a 6.4 mile loop with an elevation gain of 2,191 feet. We ended up doing a total of about 11 miles, however, because we ended up having to park about a mile away from the trail, and we did end up wandering around off the trail by accident a couple of times. To avoid the crowds, we ended up doing the loop in reverse and ended up visiting Vernal Falls first. For a trail rated as hard, this was quite a heavily trafficked trail. And there is Vernal Falls not too far off in the distance. The terrain was mostly carved stone steps and loose gravel, but there were a couple of muddy parts, and by the waterfalls there were some pretty large puddles. The trail wasn't an incline the entire time, but make no mistake about it, this trail has a fair amount of uphill. That's why it's rated hard. You're obviously going to want to make sure you pack enough water as well. I had 2 liters of water on me, as well as a thing of Gatorade and a couple of snacks. There's one faucet near the beginning of the trailhead, and after that, just waterfalls. Although there are a couple of sporadic bathrooms as well. But as some were out of operation, we didn't bother checking. Here's a nice wide shot of Vernal Falls not too far away. The trail was pretty clearly marked, but make sure to bring your map because there are a couple other trails that intersect with this one. If you didn't figure it out already, you will get doused on this trail. Maybe not so much on the Vernal Falls side of the trail, but definitely when you visit Nevada Falls. It's definitely not advised, but here we ended up taking a little break and getting a little bit closer to Vernal Falls. Do note that this was off the trail and not recommended for safety reasons. Vernal Falls is a 317-foot waterfall. Also to note, when you're hiking the Mist Trail, at the very top of the Mist Trail, it actually connects to another trail that'll lead you to the trail for Half Dome. But you're going to need a permit for Half Dome. After the little break we took at Vernal Fall, we continued onward and towards Nevada Fall. As we ended up doing the loop in reverse, we ended up doing most of the elevation gains on the first half of the trek, and then on our way to Nevada Falls, it was mostly downhill. I wasn't able to take as much video on the Nevada Falls side of the trail as it was so densely packed. All in all, this was a very enjoyable hike, and I recommend you go early to avoid the crowd.